right? I was there, and he kept me, and I just go where I'm told.
That's okay.
You know?
We're just so happy here. Buddy Valastro, the cake boss himself. Wow.
Well, what an honor and privilege to be here. I got to tell you, every time I come to South Africa, the fans just make me feel so at home, so welcome. Yeah. It touches my heart. You know, I feel like familiar here.
That's amazing. I mean, the stuff you create, you just when you think you can't beat that, you go and do something else. I mean, an aquarium as a cake. Come on.
I got to tell you, it's getting harder and harder to kind of up the ante. But, you know, I really do it because I feel like that's my way of giving back to the fans. Because I tell the fans all the time, you know, you can never give up. You have to believe in yourself. And no matter how big the obstacle is, you know that you're going to succeed. You're going to do something amazing. And that's just the way I go into making a cake. And I hear from the fans that inspires them not to give up. So it's been an awesome feeling.
It really has. So before the ad break, I was asking Matt about when he started cooking. Now I'm going to ask you, and that was 11. I mean, you started in your dad's bakery. That was something you wanted to do.
I'll never forget it. You know, my dad was my idol, my best friend, and I wanted to be like him. So at 11 years old, I went to work at the bakery, and I'll never forget my first day at work. I said, Dad, you know, am I going to make cakes or pastries? What do you want me to do? And he brought me in the bathroom, and he said, clean the toilet bowl.
Oh, no way.
I swear to God, that's what he told me. He did. And you know what? I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. My dad wanted me to know what it was like to be the man who cleaned the toilet bowl, to wash the dishes, to make the cakes, to be the baker, to do the deliveries. And I feel like it made me a much better boss today. It made me a lot more humble because you know what? I know what it's like to have to go and scrub the toilet bowl. Yeah. And I have a lot more admiration and respect for the guy who does it. And I think that's part of my success. I think that, you know, it shines through.
Yeah, and a big thank you to your dad for that one. You didn't thank him on the day.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was like, what do you mean? Clean the toilet bowl? You know, and I grew up in a very, like, old-school Italian house, so I didn't clean. Yeah. It wasn't like I cleaned at the house. I was like the prince at the house, you know. I mean, my mom cut my steak up until I was, like, 15, you know. So
and she would have chewed it for you, and then you just had to swallow it.
Basically,
But, you know, I mean, Matt, that's the important aspect of cooking as well. And I think you've touched on a very important note. I mean, I've waitressed in many times during my student, and I mean, if you don't know as a chef and as heading up a kitchen what everyone is going through in that kitchen, I don't think you can run it.
Oh, and there's no doubt that if a chef doesn't turn up, service goes on. Yeah. If the dishwasher doesn't turn up, everything collapses. And you get guys like Rene Redzepi when he won the award for #1 restaurant in the world. The whole team turned up with the picture of their dishwasher on T-shirts because he couldn't make it because of visa problems. So there's a real respect. I mean, in fact, Ferran Adrià from Abui started washing dishes. Tetsuya from Melbourne, from Australia, started washing dishes. So there's a kind of, it's a really major role. So you've got to understand everything about the business.
No, I agree. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like a chef. I feel more like a baker. Yeah. You know, he's a chef. This guy,
I'm a cook. I'm a home cook.
Yeah, but I'm more of a home cook. That's just kind of like what I do. The culinary rock stars in my life were like my mom, my dad, my grandma, my aunts, you know. And I do a cooking show, but I have my first restaurant in Vegas, and I was actually there right before I came to South Africa, and I was on the line, and I was cooking a little bit, and it was just such a different feel. Like from being in the kitchen and baking and doing the cake decorating, it's so much more like fast-paced, boom, 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 versus like, you know what, you're doing a cake and you're in the zone and you're calm and, you know, it's just a different world.
It is a different world.
But good, in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
But in the professional kitchen, the pastry chef is the intelligent, thoughtful, artistic one, and the line cooks, the guys that are chop, 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 chop. Oh, yeah. And there's this amazing dynamic between the pastry chef and they call them what I mean, in Australia we call them sponge monkeys or cream puffs. I mean there must be. Is it the same? Is that delineation the same in the US?
It definitely is. It's kind of like the second tier. You know what I'm saying? Like the pastry chef, they kind of like do their own thing, but I just love doing both, and I love the fact that when I do these shows, it inspires people to want to bake or want to cook. You know, I feel like nothing brings the family together like food.
Nothing. It is the best thing in the world. It really is. I have to ask you, what has been one of the most bizarre requests for a cake you've ever had?
Probably, we did a zombie cake.
Yeah?
And, well, you know what it was? It was for a zombie walk. And these guys actually dressed up like zombies. They walked, and then they ate the cake like with their hands. They just ripped into it because they thought they were zombies, and they really believed they were zombies. And like the cameras went down, I'm like, all right, guys, you know, like how you doing? Oh, they're doing like, hey, Fred, they, you know, like hanging out. They were like still thought they were zombies. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here.
So it was a big zombie cake. That's what you did.
Zombie cake. That was pretty cool. And I have a problem, not a problem, but my eye for cake wants to be perfect and neat. So I made this zombie with blood and guts and stuff hanging out, and it was smashed up. So for me, it was almost hard to do that cake. It challenged my inner, you know, because I want to see things perfect.
Man, so you guys are on the show. It's on until Sunday.
That's right.
Are you on, every day?
Buddy's next 2 days.
I'm going to be Friday and Saturday. It's a good food and wine show.
Okay.
It's at the Coca-Cola Dome.
Yep.
Very, very excited to see the fans. We're going to be signing autographs, giving hugs. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. And I'm going to be there all day, so you guys got to come check it out because there's so much to do with the show.
Oh, it's going to be
There's going to be a lot of food, a lot of things to do. It's a great thing to do with the kids, the familia.
And Matt?
And then I'll be there Sunday cleaning up the sticky mess. It'll be all over the stage, peeling off the fondant icing and just maybe having a peek. Yeah. So and then we've got Reza Mohammed, who's one of the great presenters, Indian background, but has a wonderful Indian restaurant in London. He's out as well. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
so
he comes
so it's a load of fun. And I think that's the best thing about doing this. When Buddy came to Australia last time, he did MasterChef, and I missed him. So like now we get to hang out with, that's the coolest thing about these things as well.
You guys are just so awesome. It's so wonderful. I don't want to rap. They're shouting at me. They're telling me to rap, but I'm ignoring everybody at the moment. I'm loving talking to you guys. Now, listen, my kids' birthday parties are next weekend. We'll talk off air.
Hey, listen, man, I'm making you cake. No problem. What am I going to do?
Can you imagine? Oh, my gosh. A zombie party.
Well,
I promise I'm
you
not
know
having
what?
one.
Potentially, we might be doing a bakery in South Africa within the next couple of years.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, the response from the fans is great, and why not?
Now, you see, if I rapped earlier, you wouldn't have known that. Shake my hand.
Pleasure.
What a pleasure to meet you guys.
Thank you so much.
This is such an honor. Thank you so much for coming in. Thanks for being in South Africa. You inspire all of us. Thank you very, very much. Right, let's take a break. I know we're going to take a quick